What is up, everyone? Movie Worm back again with another video, and today is going to be another latest physical media watches episode. Episode 4, I think we're on now. Started these about a month and a half ago, and I've been really enjoying it. I hope all you guys have too. It's been really nice to see you all in the comments and liking the video and watching it and everything. So I hope this is working for you a lot more, because I prefer doing this, you know, instead of one big end of month vlog. I think this just allows me to breathe more when I'm talking about the movies and stuff. And I'll have another latest cinema, streaming and digital watches episode coming very soon. But every time I've watched about around 10 movies, I like to do another episode. So in the last episode, we had 10 films, and here we have another 10. A mix of Blu-rays, 4Ks, and a mix of, well, controversial opinions, let's say, I think. So all that to look forward to. So let's get into the first thing that I watched in this pile of Blu-rays right here. So first up, we do have Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I'm sorry, guys, I cannot see if there's any glare on these, so apologies. You know, if there is any glare, I do apologize. I am definitely going to set this room up at some point, hopefully in the new year, to be glare-free. So, yeah, Tears of the Sun. Did I say Tears of the Kingdom then? Tears of the Sun. This is a film that was recommended to me by a friend when I was on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I haven't been on it for about 3 months now, and it's great. I highly recommend, if Twitter has become a toxic place for you, to leave the damn thing, because you'll never go back. And I like my life off there. But I'm going off on a tangent. That's a whole different story. Tears of the Sun was a film that has been recommended to me. I seen this when it came out on DVD back in the 2000s or something. I thought, yeah, another Bruce Willis movie, but I don't know if that really looks like it's for me. War films aren't my typical to go-to genre, to be honest. But I gotta say, I really did enjoy this film. Now, this sees Bruce Willis and his gang of men go into Africa, where, you know, these militia are going around just murdering people, and, you know, if you don't join their militia and stuff, you're basically gonna die. But he has to go in to get this doctor who is in very importance to the US government. And she will not leave unless all this village of people can go with them. And Bruce Willis has to tell her a little white lie to say, okay, they can come with us when we get to the LZ. And yeah, you kind of know in the back of your mind that this is going to go tits up between these two characters, because he's told a lie. Obviously, he can't get all these villagers on this helicopter. But I like how the movie explores mind, or, you know, thinking with your heart over your head at times. How humans are basically the way they feel for one another. You know, how selfish people can still have a bit of heart in them and know that they have to do the right thing. All that good stuff, basically. The film ends with, you know, all it takes for evil men to win is for good men to do nothing. And that is exactly what this movie is going for, basically. But I thought there was some really cool action scenes in here as well. Bruce Willis is awesome in this movie, as usual. You know, I hope it's really sad to see what's happened to Bruce Willis, man. It really is. But he's been in some great movies over the years, but I thought he was awesome in this. Lots of great characters, you know, in his squad and everything. Really like the woman who played this doctor. She was like the heartbeat of the movie, really. You know, the sort of linchpin in the middle there between these army guys and these village people who she wants to save. And yeah, you really don't like the villains in this movie, like the militia who are going around just murdering everyone. They're just horrible people. So you really want these people to get to salvation. Yeah, I had a really good time with this one. Decent Bruce Willis movie. And considering I don't really go to war movies, I usually enjoy them every time I watch them. So maybe I should explore that genre a little bit more there. But yeah, that is Tears of the Sun. Okay, guys, I did say there was going to be a couple of controversial opinions here, and I might be getting absolutely killed in the comments here. I don't know. But a lot of people might think the same as me. A few people on Instagram did message me and say, I agree with you. But this is a film I really didn't like. And it is considered one of the greatest films of all time. And that is Citizen Kane. A first-time watch for me. A film I've always wanted to get to all my life. I knew I had to watch it before I die. You know, it's in that book, 1,000 movies or 100 movies to watch before you die. 1,000 movies it is. yeah, I just didn't get on with this film. It started off okay, and then it really bored the pants off me. This is Orson Welles, the life of him as this newspaper. Like he's got a very rich father and everything, and his father is basically one of the most popular people in the world who runs a lot of these businesses and everything, and he gives all of this wealth to his son. But he is only interested in the newspaper editing side of things, and he wants to run this newspaper himself and get his own vision of things out there. Use it with the ability and the power that he has, basically. And a lot of people, the media and everything center around him, and a lot of people look up to him and stuff like that, and basically use him as what they should do in society and everything. But it's basically just his life running this newspaper business and having a few girlfriends along the way who he gets in trouble with. I just didn't find this movie to be very interesting. Now, I'm not against watching it again, because I know I may have missed something, and sometimes on rewatch, things can do it for you a lot better, or movies can seem better. But for me, man, I was just like waiting for it to end. I just lost so much interest in this film about half an hour in, and it's a shame, because I really wanted to like this. Maybe I went in with too much expectation, I don't know, but the fact that this is considered one of the greatest films of all time, I just don't agree with that. Maybe for the time it was a little bit rejuvenating and everything, because there is some nicely edited shots at the start of the film and everything, the way the story is told. That may have been innovative for the time, but yeah, I mean, the ending, everyone talks about it. It's a good little ending, I suppose, but I mean, I was expecting something a little bit more with the whole Rosebud thing. But yeah, I just wasn't into this one, guys, unfortunately. So that is Citizen Kane. Next up, my friend Napster, who is always in the comments, will really be happy that I watched this one, because he's been saying, look, I'm really waiting for your thoughts on this. And that is Arrival on 4K. And a Denis Villeneuve film I have never seen. Nearly all of these are first time watchers. Oh no, there's a couple there that aren't. 8 of them are. Yeah, I've wanted to watch this one for a while now. I just picked it up from CEX ages ago because I heard lots of people saying it was great. And you got Amy Adams in there and Jeremy Renner. And basically what happens is these, like, I think it's 10 sort of spaceships, UFOs sort of thing. They just land on Earth and do nothing. And everyone's freaking out, going, what the hell is going on here? Why have they landed in these certain cities? Why aren't they contacting us? What do they want? Are they going to destroy us? Are they just going to leave? What is the purpose in these aliens basically landing on Earth? And the months go by and everything, and they call in Amy Adams because they found a way to communicate with these aliens. And she is a language expert. And they want her to decipher what the hell these aliens keep writing, basically, with this kind of spray that they've got that comes out their tentacles and stuff like that. And she starts deciphering what they want and what they're saying, and she tries to communicate with them. And the film basically explores lots of different themes, communication for one, and how we sort of interact with others, how humans can jump to conclusions at times. I won't say too much more than that. By the end of the film, I was kind of hating a lot of the humans. The themes of, would you still go down certain paths even though you know disaster is going to strike? Yeah. I really liked some of the messages in that film, basically. But there's a twist in this film that I didn't see coming in a million years, and I thought that was awesome. I thought Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner are fucking incredible in this movie. It's worked so well together, and I really like the connection that grows with them over the movie. Denis Villeneuve directs the shit out of it. The sound design in this film is amazing, absolutely wonderful, blew my head off. Just so good. The sound design and the mixing and everything, just a real jaw-dropping film to watch. Visually stunning. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. This might get my pick of the bunch at the end. Who knows? But yeah, I gotta say, guys, this is a solid Denis Villeneuve film. Really, really enjoyed this one. Definitely would return to it. I've heard on return viewing it's even better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one again at some point. So really enjoyed this. That is Arrival. Next up is Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Now, the reason I watched this, I'm really sorry about this glare, guys. I'm really trying to avoid it. I'm doing a Friday the 13th review series over on my horror channel, and I haven't really done one for a while, but I thought I'm going to carry on this series, and I got back to it with part 6. And that review has not done very well at all. I really want this series to do well. So guys, I'm going to leave a link down below to my full spoiler thoughts on this film over on my horror channel. If you guys want to check that out, the link is down below. I'm not begging you to go and see it or anything, but it'd be great to get some support on that video and try and boost this series a little bit. Because I'm going to have to finish it. I'm going to do the rest of them and rank them all at the end. But this is maybe my favourite Friday the 13th film. When I rewatched the remake, that still might be solidified at number 1 because I love the remake. But if not, this is definitely second. Yeah, this is a wonderful Friday the 13th sequel. What a great opening this is, the way they bring Jason back and everything. I think Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis is a great protagonist in this movie. Really like the relationship and the chemistry he has with Megan in this, who go out to take Jason down with the sheriff up their ass, basically, because the sheriff thinks Tom Matthews is trying to blame everything on Jason and he's the real killer. And I like that dynamic with this film, where basically it's not just Jason hunting down a load of camp counselors. I mean, it is. He does a lot of killing in this, but it's Tom Matthews, you know, going after the predator, basically. The hunter becoming the hunted, if you like. But still plenty of great gore and kills in here. I wish there was more. The MPAA, can tell, absolutely hacked this film to death. But still really fun with the kills and everything. I really love the RV scene where Jason kills that couple in the RV and he's just standing on top of it there with his machete, just like I'm the king of Crystal Lake. One of the best Jasons, I gotta say. Yeah, just a really fun film. It's non-stop from start to finish, so well paced. I love this film. So that is Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Next up, we do have Minari. I picked this up a while ago for a few quid in CEX. Not something I usually do these days, but I heard it was great with the Oscars and everything, and you know, there's a real buzz around it. It was nominated for Best Picture, and this follows Stephen Yeun and his family who come to America and start living on this farm. They're living in like an RV. Sorry to use that word again. I used it on the Jason Lives film, but they're living in like this RV, big sort of caravan type thing, and he is basically wanting to start this farm and live the American dream. He's wanted to do this all his life, and basically the film just explores the struggles between that and family life. You know, he wants this farm so much, but is he sort of neglecting his family there at the same time? And it's just trying to get that balance right for him. And either way, you want him to succeed in both of these, because you know this is a really sweet family, and you know they're just wanting a better life, basically. And that's basically the movie. But I gotta say, the grandma who comes halfway through this film was such a great character. I absolutely loved her. All the comedic part of the movie, the fun, the entertainment comes from her. She was such a wonderful character. I don't know if she got nominated for like any supporting roles or anything, but she should have been if this movie was up for so many Oscars. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, beautifully shot. It really is. A really, really good heartfelt film. You'll be watching this and you'll feel good after it. So that is Minari. Next up, we have a film I spoke about on my Blu-ray and 4K pickups video, and that is The Dentist Collection. So first off, I'll talk about The Dentist. I'm just going to hold this over here so you can see the poster, guys. So yeah, The Dentist. I used to see this in the video shop all the time, and I was like, that cover looks amazing, but I never ever rented it. I think it was The Dentist 2 that had the best cover, actually. But I never ever rented these films. I thought, they look good, but they're probably terrible. And this was going for £10 on Amazon. And I thought, you know what, £10 for 2 films I've always wanted to see. I'm going for it. So thank you to Bumper, Craig from Bumper's Movies, for putting me on that deal. And I watched the first one. And I had a lot of fun with it. Gotta say, this basically is about this guy who's a dentist, but he's already a bit wacky. You know, you can tell he's got an angry streak about him. And his name is Dr. Alan Feinstein. And I gotta say, he is one of the most underrated horror movie villains, I think, because he is just an absolute tutor to watch in these films. I love how he loses his mind and just snaps. But basically, him and his wife are living in this wonderful house and everything. And he goes out and comes back and sees his wife cheating on him with the pool boy. And that just makes him, go crazy, basically. And he starts taking it out on all the people who come to visit him in this dentist one day, and he just has an absolute massacre in his dental practice that day with all these different people coming in and everything, killing the people who work there and everything, but trying to hide the body so we can carry on with the next patient. It's really, really fun. I just love Dr. Alan Feinstein. It's a great performance from, what's his name? Oh, God. Oh, I forgot the guy's name. He's been in a few movies, but yeah, anyway, he was great in this. So yeah, I had a really good time with this one, and glad to own it now. It's one of them that it's a very low budget, but they work well with what they have, and it's one of them I could see myself rewatching again easily. So yeah, that is The Dentist. And next up, guys, we do have The Dentist 2. I'm just sorry, this is bonfire night. It's only early in the afternoon. Well, not early. It's just gone dark now, but there's a few fireworks going off and everything, so sorry if that interrupts the video, but I'm going to try and get there before it gets a little bit too crazy. But The Dentist 2 sees Dr. Alan Feinstein break out of a mental institute and start a new life in this small village town, basically. He sets up his own dental practice and everything, and everyone thinks, because they need a new dentist in their village, and everyone just loves the guy. And there's one or two people who just aren't quite sure about him, but the whole town, everything seems to love him. And he basically, is back to normal and everything, and he's like refreshed and rejuvenated. And he finds this woman, and again, he suspects she might have this boyfriend on the side, and that just drives him crazy once again. It is the same story. It's the exact same story. Not as many kills in this one or anything, but I still enjoyed it as much. I give them both 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And yeah, it's just really fun again to see Alan Feinstein just basically lose his marbles all the time. I'd recommend these one, guys. If you like your trashy, low-budget horror, these are fine. They're really good. So I wouldn't even say they're trashy. They're done okay, but yeah, they're not like low budget movies and everything. They're decent. So I had a good time with these two. So that is The Dentist and The Dentist 2. Next up is another controversial opinion here, guys, and that is It, the remake from 2017, I believe. Is it 2007? I think it is. Welcome to Derry is starting. Well, it started. I'm on episode 2. That's the only 2 that's been released so far. I'm really enjoying it. Definitely liked episode 2 more than the first. But I wanted to watch It and It Chapter 2 before that. It Chapter 2 will feature in the next video, which hopefully won't be too far away because I'm about 3 or 4 deep into that video. But this is a film that I was kind of disappointed by at the cinema. I've never been more anticipated for a movie in my life since The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises than this. And I couldn't wait because I loved the 1990 miniseries. I just used to rewatch it all the time as a kid, even though it's 3 hours long. And I wanted to see this new version of Pennywise and everything. I walked out the cinema a little bit disappointed. I thought it was a decent 6 out of 10 movie. And I thought, yeah, wish it was something a little bit more there. And this is the first time I've watched it since the cinema. And I kind of feel the same. I know a lot of people absolutely love this film and give it like 5 out of 5 and everything. One of the best remakes ever. I'm not quite there with it. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Look, I don't dislike the movie. I give it 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, which is basically a 6 out of 10. I think this is wonderfully shot. Like the production value, the cinematography. This film looks amazing. The whole town of Derry comes to life in this film. I never get tired of looking at it. The kids in this film are the biggest positive because their interactions and everything and just like this coming of age movie just totally works. Absolutely love the dialogue and everything. Richie Tozier, who's played by Finn Wolfhard, is So hilarious in this movie. It's very rare a kid will make me laugh that much, but I was laughing all the time through this movie. You mullet wearing asshole and stuff that he says to Henry Bowers. Loved all that side of it. When it comes to the horror, I don't enjoy it quite as much. Now, two controversial opinions. Well, no, I would say one controversial opinion. I'll start with the controversial opinion. I don't think Bill Skarsgård's all that great as Pennywise. He's fine. He's okay. He's nothing Tim Curry. Tim Curry. I was about to say Bill Curry then. Tim Curry. I don't see. It's night and day with them Pennywises. The whole design of him. I know it's kind of true to the book, but he looks okay, I suppose. But yeah, man, I just think he just wasn't doing it for me that much. I don't like the voice, and at the start when he's going, lots of popcorn down here, pop, 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 and it's like, and then he is just ruined by CGI. The whole horror in this movie, CGI heavy, is so annoying. I wish Andy Muschietti would rein it in a little bit. There's just no need for the amount of bad CGI in this film. CGI to me is 99% of the, or 95% of the time, not scary. And it is overloaded with CGI in this film. Part 2 is a different story. I mean, that is on another level. But I just, I don't know, man. I just didn't really care for the horror side of things. There's some moments, like I really like when Pennywise is waving with the hand that he's bit off, and the projector scene, kind of creepy. But all this from Pennywise moving his head everywhere with the CGI and everything, it just wasn't working for me. But overall, not a bad remake. Definitely prefer the 1990 miniseries. So yeah, go ahead, give me hell in the comments. I'm never going to lie on this channel. That is my opinion. So that is it. Next up, we do have The Island from Michael Bay. And this is a film that I watched a few weeks ago, and I fell asleep. And I was just like, man, I could not get into that film at all. And then a few weeks later, I went, you know what? I'm going to give The Island another go because I'm wide awake here. It's a bit of a 2 hour and 10-minute film. I've got it in me. I've got it in the tank. And I still kind of dislike the first 45 minutes of this movie. It's just very dated. The colours and everything are just way too contrasted on the screen. It just seems, a product of its time, basically. I know it's only like 20 years ago, but it just felt very dated. It's about a bunch of people just living in this compound, and they're not allowed outside because they have been told that there's like disease has hit, the world's ended. They're not allowed out or they'll die, basically. And what ensues is a much better movie in the second half of the film. Like the last hour and 15 minutes, I was loving this film. I really was. This when Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson kind of break out of this place and discover what is really happening. I thought it was a very clever script. I don't want to get into it too much in case you guys haven't seen it, but I've never quite really seen a movie like this before. And there's some great action and everything. Michael Bay, I'm usually hit and miss with his action because I think he does a lot of repetitive things in his chase scenes and everything. Just go and watch Bad Boys 2. I felt like I was watching the same thing for 15 minutes in that chase scene. But no, it was quite good here, quite well mixed up. Ewan McGregor was awesome. Loved him in this. Yeah, it was a really good sort of action mystery thriller. I just didn't really like the first 45 minutes just because of how it looked and how dated it was and how silly it felt. But again, that's kind of a product of its time, basically. But yeah, not a bad movie from Michael Bay. Quite enjoyed this one, that is The Island. And on the last video, guys, a lot of people were saying like they really enjoyed my last entry into the video because I was just slating Death in Venice. And unfortunately, we have landed on another terrible movie coming in last here. This was absolutely just shite. Assassin's Creed. Now, when I bought my 4K region free play, you got a free movie with it. And there weren't many ones to pick from. One of them was Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. One of them was the Emoji Movie, I think. One of them was Pixels. I thought, you know what, Assassin's Creed, I've always wanted to watch this because I did used to play the games, but also it's directed by Justin Kurzel, who has made some great movies. He's kind of like the Shane Meadows of... Is he from Canada? I can't remember if he's from Canada or America now. But anyway, He might be from somewhere else, actually. Australia. I think, no, he's Australian. Fucking hell. He's Australian. He's made a couple of movies. He's like the Australian Shane Meadows, called Nip Ram, Snowtown Murders. They feel really realistic, very grimy and dirty, but you know you've gone through an experience when watching them. And he recently made one called The Order with Jude Law in, which I thought was a good cops and robbers chase film, heist film. But this one just felt like a director for hire by Disney or whoever. Yeah, it was on Disney Plus anyway. But this is a terrible video game adaptation. Now, if you played Assassin's Creed, 90% of that game, no, 95% of it, you are in this mythical land, or a past, a time period, should I say, where you're an assassin. And I would say 10% of this film is that, and 90% of it is all to do with this machine that you go into that sends you to this time period. So why they decided to focus on the worst part of the game for most of this movie baffled my brain. The story is just so bad and just starts to become very complex. I was getting lost throughout this film, going, what the hell is going on here? Michael Fassbender, who is our main protagonist, is a death row inmate, and he is basically killed, and then when he wakes up, he's in this sort of science lab where they're going to experiment to send him back through time and everything. And the only context we get of why he was executed is because he killed someone, and that person was a pimp. So yeah, I suppose that makes it all okay. I don't know, but it's just that's all we get. That's why he was on death row for 30 years. That's all we get, one line of dialogue. And we don't explore his past or anything like that, really, apart from his ancestors were assassins years ago. I hated it. I absolutely hated this film. I give it 1 star on Letterboxd. Probably, look, I only give half a star to the worst of the worst, like the Exorcist 2 and everything. This one looked nice at times. But yeah, there was even moments like when we go back to the time periods and stuff, Michael Fassbender will be taking people on and he'll do like a spinning blade attack and cut someone's throat. But as he's doing it, the editing is so bad and jarring because we're jumping from that time period and him just messing about in the machine. Then we'll go back to the time period and he's kicking a few people here and there, and then it'll jump to him in the machine and it goes back. And it's like, just stick to the time period. It's an eyesore. Stop it. So I don't know what the hell they were doing with the directing and the editing there. But Justin Kurzel, I know he's better than this. And maybe he should just stick to them small scale, realistic, true crime dramas, because that's where he shines best. This was not his type of thing. So Assassin's Creed, unfortunately, is one of the worst video game adaptations I've ever seen, and that is saying something because there's some bad ones out there. Street Fighter, The Revenge of Chun-Li is the only one I can think of that might be worse than this. The actual Street Fighter film is better than this. So yeah, very, very poor adaptation. That is Assassin's Creed. Okay guys, it is time for my pick of the bunch, and I very nearly went with this just because of how fun it is, but I am going to go with Arrival. Yeah, I absolutely loved this movie. It's a very interesting film with a solid ending, great performances, great visuals, a Denis Villeneuve banger. Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed that video. Please do let me know what you thought of these titles, and I'll get back to you all, I promise. If you want more physical media watcher episodes, I'll leave it in the link down below, along with my digital streaming and cinema episodes as well. Thanks so much guys. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.